Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulaiman Rahim here. Welcome. Let's break the dumb barrier. Sisters and brother, there's been a big question for at least 35,000 years. Who is Allah? Who is God? We have all these different versions, all these different religions. See, Hinduism, they got all kinds of these idols and so forth. Buddhism, Buddha is the main one. Christianity, right? Sunniism. What's correct? Been a question for 35,000 years. Now, Elijah Muhammad came and told us that God is a man. First time we heard that one, right? First time the world heard that one, it's correct. But he also said other things too, like says Allah means all of us. Allah is the original nation. What does that mean? The original nation. God is a man. We're going to talk about some of these things in kind of, some detail. Let's move on and see what we come up with. First of all, this idea of God being a man. But we have a situation, the Quran says, vision comprehends him not. And he comprehends all vision. He is a soul the aware. See? So he comprehends all vision, but vision doesn't comprehend him. So is that saying he cannot see him? We're told he's a man. But then Elijah Muhammad said this mysterious thing like, Allah means all of us. It's right in the word, all. That's the name the first God gave himself. So what are you talking about here? Now we're going to go into some stuff here that's kind of detailed. Hope you keep up, brothers and sisters. Well, we got two visions. We're going to talk about both these visions. Then you understand these visions a little better, hopefully, when we get finished. Okay. Prior to 35,000 years ago, we had the ability to tune in. Elijah Muhammad talked about that. He said, Master Muhammad, he has the ability to do that. He said, we will have the ability to do that again. That means all our minds are connected. All our brains are connected. See? So we can tune in, we're a network. All communicate with each other. We need cell phones and all that kind of stuff. We have a natural ability to do that. But we don't have it now. So our unity will bring that together, and that switch will turn on, then all of a sudden we're connected. But what exactly does that mean? See? Become a network, one body. As I've been saying to you, I've been hinting to you over and over, but we're more than him, right? That we're all connected. We're one body, as a Christian called the body of Christ. We're all connected. See, you see as independent, as Christ says, you see as independent parts. So he gave us our backs. If you don't have a back, that means the back allows you to be separated from something else, right? That's what a back does for you. If you don't have a back, that means you're still connected. So he said he gave us our back, so we think we're independent. The Quran says we think independent, but not. Our nation is one body. We got head cells, we got feet cells, we got brain cells, we got eye cells, heart cells. To serve every function, a person is born with that nature and that desire, that vision to fulfill that function. That's what they want to do. They're happy doing it. Some are happy to be foot cells. Some have to be butt cells. Some have to be nose cells. I mean, oh, we're a butt cell. Well, okay, if you think something wrong with your butt cell, then get rid of it. Get rid of it. See how that works. All of it is important. Every cell in your body is important. See, we don't look down one cell. Oh, no. See, that's Cave's way. Some more people more important than others. No, that's not our way. Everybody is equal. They all have a function. All the functions work together. The body is healthy and functional. Okay. Right now we're plagued by demons because we got aliens. We got viruses in our body. See, those demons, they look like us, walk like us, talk like us, they're cancer to our body. That's another story. But anyway, we're one body. You need to understand the concept. But right now we're asleep, so in other words, we're not connected to each other. We're connected, but we're not connected consciously. We're one body. Always been that way, always will be that way. That is a law. That's the law. Elijah Muhammad's talking about, it says, right? We're all, Allah means all of us. That's the lie the Bible's talking about when it's talking about the Father. To the Father, the Son, Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit is mathematics. The Father is the whole original nation. The Son, right, in that case, so you're talking about the Son in 2 different ways. We're talking about David and Son David. But the Son in this case, right, represents the supreme being, the supreme one of us, right, because he comes close to understand this whole affair. See? So if you understand that, then that makes sense. Because one vision, our vision, independent vision, cannot comprehend the whole. Because our sight, our vision, our sight, cannot comprehend the whole. In our understanding, cannot comprehend the whole. Right? But the whole can comprehend all of our visions. That means the body composes all our visions. Just like, right? The brain senses the whole entire body. But one cell in the body doesn't comprehend all the rest of the body. The brain senses the entire body. But the foot cell does not sense the entire body. It senses itself. That's what it's talking about there. See? So let's dig more deeper into this. See? So understand it's one body. But once we tune in, we all become all constantly connected. What does that mean? That means we have a high consciousness now, because you have this, they call it, they have a word for it. I forget the word they use. But we have, I think call it racial consciousness or whatever. The whole body is conscious. In other words, each one of our brain is a brain cell of the entire brain, because the original nation is the brains of the universe. The original nation is the brains of the universe. And each one of our brains is a component of that brain. So if you take all our brains and we're just a brain cell, each one of our brains is a brain cell of the entire brain, think how powerful that brain would be. And each one of us can tune into that brain, because we're all brain cells. So our intelligence increases 1,000-fold. Because we know what all other brain cells know. But we know it from our perspective. If we're a foot cell, we still know it from the perspective. We still know everything other brain cells know, but we know it from a foot cell's perspective. That makes us be better foot cells. If we know it from an eye cell, we know it from eye cell perspective, but right? But we know all other ones, but from eye cell perspective. Or butt cell perspective, or ear cell perspective. You understand? But we're all part of the brain. And all the animals and plants and everything, they're our body. That's why it says we know every sparrow that falls from the sky, every leaf that falls to the ground, we know about it. Because once we connect it, we'll know all of that. All of this, we'll realize we're the brain, and all life form on this planet is our body. That's why it's telling you, No mind can comprehend how his hereafter is going to be. Because it'll be totally different anything you can imagine here. So now, look, you're 1,000 times wiser than you are right now because you know everything that's going on from your perspective. So your mind, your consciousness, your memory is part of this whole thing, right? This whole network, this whole matrix, because everybody's conscious of everyone else. We're all interconnected. Can you imagine millions and millions of brain cells being part of one big brain? You got a brain that's made of millions and millions of other smaller brains, our brains. That level of consciousness. See? And then you have the supreme being, right? He's the one that's the wisest. He's the wisest brain cell of all. So he's more connected than everyone else is. His understanding is more than anyone else. So in other words, he knows how to drive this affair. You know, it says the Father, it says the Son does everything he sees the Father do. You start understanding that? It says the Son does everything he sees the Father do. Because he's totally connected. He's totally connected more than anyone else is. See? So that's Allah in that perspective. But he's also called Allah because, that's why Elijah's mom said he's called Allah too, because he's the supreme being. He's the one most connected. He's the essence of the brain. He's the most advanced brain cell essence, the very core. Then you got the ones around him, that's the scientists. They're closer, but there's only him, he's the center. They're close. And then you got further away. That's what Allah is. See? So how do you fit into that? I just said, how you fit into it consciously. See? So your memories and everything is right there. See? Where everyone else is, it's right there. It's part of the whole thing because everybody's conscious of your memory. You conscious of their memories. We're all conscious of all of it because we're all one. We all see, it's like your body. You see your body as one. You don't see it like separate pieces. It's all part. You're conscious of all of it. Your brain's conscious of all of your entire body. And we're conscious of all our entire body from different perspectives. See? You have a different conscious, you say sensation of your feet than you do your hands, but you're still conscious of them. You need to understand that. So, you're a cell. Now in your body, you have cells, and what happens to your cell? A cell is, most cells are replaced every 7 years. A new cell, identical cell replaces it. Identical cell replaces it. It dies, and identical cell replaces it. And it serves the same function as the one to replace, just upgraded version. Of course, you're moving through time, so things change. So you got to upgrade those cells. Same thing in that process. See, you live as long as you want to live, 100 years, 1,000 years, whatever, right? But things change, so you need to upgrade. Right? So you go to sleep, die, and replaced by identical yourself, identical genes, identical you in every respect, only is upgraded for the time has passed, right? It's upgraded. And all your memories and conscious everything is right there. It's right there, hasn't been lost. Because your mind's right, that's never, all is right there. Everybody's conscious of everything, so you fully conscious. To you, it'd be no difference when you go to sleep and wake up in the morning. Be no difference. Then when you go to sleep, from your point of view, that'd be you went to sleep and you woke up. Because all your conscious and everything is right there. All your memories and everything. And everybody knows you because they know you. And everybody knows you, you know everybody else. Because you're totally connected. Totally connected mentally. All your thoughts and everything is shared all over the place. So it's right there for you. So you are immortal, just like it says in Hebrews chapter 7, Melchizedek, you are immortal. You have been immortal, right? Now some of you be cut off because in this process, right, you cut yourself off, but once we back home and this switch turned back on, you not excluded, you're immortal. You literally live forever. You literally live forever. Maybe 1,000 years at a time, 100 years at a time, 200 years, whatever you desire, right? And you come back and you have new mother, new father, and everything else. Everything will be different, but you still be the you. You just be an upgraded version of you. And you have all knowledge of your past events and everything else, as much as you want, because nothing's lost. Nothing is lost. You are immortal. That's what that means. So the Bible and the Quran is not lying to you when you talk about you receive immortality, because you are immortal. You've always been. You've always been here. You always will be here. Hope you understand that. That's what Allah means. Now we have Allah in the other sense, right? We're talking about the Father and the Son, right? Well, they talk about that in a different way, talking about David and Solomon. Because when you read that, see, you understand, Elijah Muhammad said, Master Muhammad is not a natural God, right? He's a made God for this purpose. See, that's why he had a Caucasian mother, because to keep him from suffering energy deprivation, so he could do the job he needed to do. But what does it say? It says, it could be talking about the other father, right, the whole nation, the original nation, because it says, after the father put everything under the son's feet, then it's all turned over to the son. Because Suleiman and the gods after him, they're natural gods. You see. So once Farad subdues everything in time, then it will be turned over to Suleiman. And so forth and so on. And said he will be with you forever. That gets into another story altogether. But that's what it says. Now, if you understand this, then you understand that. See, I go a lot more detail, but I'm not, because I want to get into something else here. See, show you what your enemy is doing. Now, you read the story of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve was told that they would get rid of us, from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and they would live forever. They'd become like gods and live forever. Now, what does that mean? How are they going to live forever? I mean, how are they going to live forever? They're not part of this. So I said, I'm going too much deeper than I've been going with this, right? What are they doing? They're trying to invent this electronically. They're trying to invent this electronically. See? Because they got a glimpse of it. Now they're trying to invent it electronically. They're racing to try to make it happen, because then they will live forever. Think about it. They have this thing called the cloud, where all information, everything will be up there. Put everything in the cloud, right? All the memories, everything, right? Where you can access it. Then they want to become mechanical, electromagnetic. Because somebody keeps saying electronic, I mix it together, because that's the electronic part, that's the spirit part, that's the part, the networking part that will duplicate this, our biological networking. So they want electronic networking. They want to duplicate this electronically. See, by putting cell phone technology implanted into the brain. See? And then so they can connect with the cloud. This cloud they have called cloud. With cyborg. And then what are they going to do? Right? It's about cloning. That means clone themselves, exact duplicate of themselves. And let that download all the memories, right, into that. So that's how they continue on to live forever. See, you ain't paying attention to what they're doing. See, because you begin past you because you pay attention to NBA and NFL, understand what's going on, the science and the mathematics of what's going on. That's where the real knowledge is. That's where the real reality is. That's where you should be. That's where you should be out there getting into. Instead of wasting time watching NBA, NFL, and all that crap. You understand? That's the field you should be playing on. That's what you should be getting next to. See, because that's where you're trying to rebuild this electronically. So they will live forever. That's what they're trying to do. And they get closer and closer to it every day. That's why I call it a race. There was never a race before Dr. Yaku's creation. Because it was all one people. It was just 3 different tribes. But now they have a race because they're different. They got a whole different perspective. Well, our tribes, they got, went against each other to some extent. But they didn't have a totally different perspective. They wanted the same mathematical perspective. They just wanted to be the ruler. They wanted to come out this on top. Instead of us, because the tribe of Shabazz been ruling forever. So they figured this is an opportunity for them to take control, to be the ruling tribe. See? But so they still had a biological vision. They didn't have an mechanical electronic vision. They have electronic mechanical vision, and that's what they're trying to do. Trying to duplicate it. Cloning, the cloud, electronic computers and everything, right? See? That's what you're trying to do. See? That's what you're trying to do. Cloud, computers, networking. That's the vision, and they're trying to get you to help them because they don't have that creative ability. So they get you trying to use your creativity to produce this, and then they get rid of you. Because once they produce that, they can live forever. Live forever. That's their gateway into immortality. That's the only way they have, because they can't make it through us because we will not allow them. We don't want to let them in. They can't make it. It's biological world, because they're at war right now. The virus and everything else is killing them. They're the one brought disease and everything to the world. And just make it worse because they're against our nature. They're against our biological creation. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to come up with their electronic Allah, opposing our biological Allah. That's what they're trying to do. And they're racing towards it. And that's what we're in a race for, brothers and sisters. You better know what the stakes are. You better wake up. We're trying to wake you up, get you up to speed. Because if they achieve that before we do, right, we're toast. But Master Prophet Muhammad is not going to let it happen. I'm sure not going to let it happen as far as my abilities are here. See? I'm dealing with it on a spiritual level. He's dealing with it on a physical level. That's what's going on. Now, I try to do it and keep it short and do as detailed as possible. I think I covered everything. See? Immortality, that you live on forever, right? How you restore. That would say, "Oh gate, oh death, where's that victory? Oh grave, oh death, where's that? Oh death, where's that sting? Oh grave, where's that victory?" Because death is no sting anymore. Because it's just like going to sleep. If you thought every time you went to sleep, you thought you would never wake. When you wake up in the morning, you wouldn't remember anything. You'd be scared to go to sleep because you wouldn't know who you were the next day. But when you know you're going to remember, you're going to be 100%, then you don't have a problem. So, okay, time to release this, get rid of this model, give me an upgrade. Keep up. Because a million years from now, everything will be totally different than what it is now. People will be taller and different and everything. So you need to keep up. We don't want to be around here 6 feet tall and everybody else is 10 feet tall. That's Allah. That's what they're talking about in the Quran. See? Yeah, all that network, all our brains connected, producing this greater consciousness, this greater brain that's we all brain cell of. That's controlled or managed by the Supreme Being. In this case, it's Master Prophet Muhammad. He's the Lord of the worlds. He's the one managing this whole affair right now. See? And time be transformed. It says once he put everything under the son's feet, Suleiman's feet, then he would turn it over to Suleiman. But first, what happens is that everything is turned over to him to bring everything in submission. That's what we see in the Ancient of Days, right? He comes to Ancient of Days, and everything is turned over to him. What do you mean everything turned to him? The nation, our people, are turned over to him because Suleiman has them now, and he gives them all to. Okay, here's your people. That's what Suleiman's supposed to do. He's supposed to raise up Lazarus and give him back to the Father. And then Farah takes him, puts everything on his feet, everything. So once I put everything under your feet, then the kingdom gets the kingdom comes to you. That's what Scripture says. Because he's a made God, he's not, right, a natural God. See? Because a natural God couldn't do what he's done because they'd have to suffer energy deprivation. And he doesn't have to suffer that. That's why he was given that type of body. That he has a special body, had to be prepared. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand how this works. See, they're trying to duplicate our creation electronically. Instead of networking like you see here, they're going to have a cloud. Instead of reproducing ourselves, right? See, when they reproduce themselves, they clone. And then tune in, put electronic, so they can communicate with each other, right? Like they would their cell phones are carrying on. They're trying to reproduce our creation electronically. And if they do, they will live forever. That's why I told. They get rid of us, they can live. They can be like gods and live forever. Be like gods and live forever. Because if they achieve that, they would live forever. They still would never have all the power that we have. They would never be able to navigate the universe because they could never create a computer powerful enough to do that. But they still be power. They would still be gods in this solar system and maybe to the nearest couple of stars. That's about as far as they would probably be able to get. I'm not going to discount them because Davis proves to be very resilient and a lot smarter than a lot of people thought he was. So he is dangerous. He's not to be undermined, underestimated, rather. I think I said everything I need to say here, brothers and sisters. If you have any questions, please let me know. See? It doesn't take it, that's not take away from God. God's man, because we're all gods. But when we're networking, all that power, our unity, like Elijah Muhammad said, unity is the key. All that power is combined into one super brain that we all have access to. And that the Supreme Being, right, Allah in person manages this. Manages it. Well, I'm not an eloquent speaker like Lion Farrakhan. See, but neither was Elijah either. But we're not liars and we're not deceivers. But if you're going to be a deceiver and lie, you got to speak well, right? If you're going to buy, they not when they hire a used car salesman, they don't get somebody that's stupid, can't speak, and ugly. They find somebody that's slick talk and everything because you're going to sell garbage. You got to be cool. You got to be slick. See. But if you're selling a good product, you don't care how you look. The product speaks for itself, don't it? See. Here, the product speaks for itself. But we're telling you, we're exposing to you, we're presenting to you, right, speaks for itself. Now look at the salesman. It speaks for itself. It doesn't cost you anything. It speaks for itself. See? So you don't need a salesman. We're not selling anything. We're just giving information and it speaks for itself. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.